Good morning, everyone. This is BremSter, and I said earlier on in the year I did a stream of New York Times Classic, basically to practice and everything, and I'm going to continue doing that. I've been doing a puzzle weekend for various reasons. So I'm going to continue that. This is the New York Times Easy Sudoku from January 8th. So over a year ago, last year. This is 2025's. And of course, and I'm just going to do these. This is probably the only easy I'm going to do to get my eye in, and then I'm going to move to mediums and hards. So of course, classic Sudoku, in every box, in every row, and every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. Now, I am going to unlist this video or this stream after it's done. But there will be a playlist on my, if you go to my home page into playlist, there is a section of all my New York Times solves, and you can find them all in there in the playlist. I unlist these videos because I don't want them to override the main features. This is a 1. I'm not going to go through the details of how pencil marks work or anything in these videos or in these streams. But, you know, I'm probably not going to over explain either. And I'm going to solve my way just to be, you know, a bit chill because, you know, I'm probably going to follow the practices I've built up in order to do all of the video explaining I do. I've noticed I've developed a style based on the fact that I do video explaining. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that. So this is 8 or 9. But I'm still waking up for the morning, so, you know, all good. Hey, Frappy. That's 4. So these are 5, 8, and 9. There's no 5 there. There's no 8 there. So what are these? 2, 5, 7. So that's the 2. That's the 7. That's the 2. That's the 5. These are 1, 7, and 9. So we've got 7, 1, 9, 9. 8, not 8. I said not 8. How are you, Frappy? That's actually the 9 and that's the 5. So these are 7 and 8. So these are 2, 4, and 9. So this is the 4 and this is the 9 and this is the 2. But yes, as I said, I'm just going to chillax. I'm going to start with an easy, then I'll move on to harder ones. This is a triple. So no, that's the 5. That's the 6, that's the 9. So 3, 7, 8. No 3 in either of those. That's the 3. That's a 7, 8 pair. So that's a 2. 6, 7, 8. There's 7 there. That's the 7. Nope, you shouldn't let me interrupt that. Bed is important. So these, well, that's now the 2, and this is the 9. So there's no 2 here. These are 5 and 7, and I know the order. That's 8, 7, 8, 7, 6, 8. Bam. Okay, so 1 box to go, which I should, well, as I keep saying, even I should be able to do. 4. This is a 5. So these are 6 and, no, they're not 6 and, whoa, I've broken an easy Sudoku because that had to be a 6. And there's no, I've doubled the 7 in this column. I've doubled the 7 in this box. This has to be, no. I've gone very, very wrong. This is why I did an easy to start off. Is this correct? Is this correct? Yeah, okay, so I've broken, I'm just scanning badly at the start of the day. 2, 5, 6. There's no 6 in either of those. That's the 2, 5, but I can't put a 5 there. 2, 5, not 5. Let's do it this way. I'm trying to do the whole, I can scan digits without double checking myself. Apparently, I can't. These are 6 and 8. But the 7, 8 is resolved by the 7 there. 8, 7, 8, 7, 6, 8. That might be better. Here's hoping. So 2 is there. 4 is there. These are 5 and 9, which would have to go 5 and 9, and that's actually correct. It didn't take 1406. I didn't restart the puzzle. That's just the way it goes. Yeah, that was fine. So I'm going to mark on my tracking sheet that this one has been done, and then I'm just going to move, by changing the URL, I'm going to change on to medium. And try and get back to the stream stats. I did want to chat to chat to people about some of the things that I've been doing, like my thumbnail creation and stuff. You can grab a snack. I mean, I'm not going anywhere. Well, I will eventually, but so one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to do this for maybe an hour, and then I wanted to go over and play Boxes, the puzzle game, over on the BremSter Games channel. But I didn't want to jump straight into Boxes. I needed to kind of wake up my brain a little. This is a 3 because of the 3s looking into this. 4's not in any of those. So 4 is in one of those two, which puts 4 in one of those two. 7 is down here. Don't know what to do with that yet. Okay, 9 is placeable. So 5 is in one of those two. 5 is in one of those two, which puts 5 down here. But these are a bit restricted now. 1 can't be 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 6, and 8. These are only from 1, 6, and 8, and that one can't be a 6 or an 8. That is a naked one. Have you had your naked one today? So this isn't the one. This is the one. And these are 3, 5, and 7. So this is 5, 7. This is 3, 5. And this is, this is 3, 7. And this is 3, 5. And that's the 3. And that's the 5. And that's the 7. Because of that 7. Haha. I found a thing. That's not the 5. That's the 5. These are 4, 6, 8. 6 is in one of those two. 4 is in one of those two. 8 is in one of those two. Okay. Now, that's a 9, making that a 9. I could have chased 9s a little earlier, I suspect. 9 is in one of those two. So this is 2 and 9. So this is 2, this is 9. In here, I need to put a 3. This is a 3, 8. Bam. So these are 4 and 7, and that's resolvable. That's the 4, that's the 7. The 3 and 8 is resolvable, which makes this the 6. This isn't the 6, and these are 4 and 8, which is also resolvable. I have stacked it. These are 2 and 8, which are resolvable. Again, we are playing in stacks. 8 is in one of those two. I need to put 1, 2, 6. Oh, that's a 7. Where can I put 7 in this box? Not putting it there. That's a 7. So these are 1, 2, and 6. So these are 4 and 8. 4, 8, 4, 8. There's no 1 there. Okay. So what are these? 1, 5, 6. No 1 there. I do like putting in triples and reducing down. I find it easier personally for me to scan this way. These are 1, 2, 6 as well. So that's the 1 in the row because I can't put 1 in any of those. That's a 2, 6. Whereas I have coffee. Okay, so 6 is down here. This isn't hoped. No, okay, 9 is in one of those two. This is a 2-9 pair. 2-9, nope. 2-9, nope. That's a 2-9 pair. So 4, 5, that's a 5, because 5 can't be in any of those. And this is now a triple. 4, 6, 7. There's no 7 there, 4 there. Okay, but what is this pair? 3, 8. So this is 3, 8, which means this pair is 4, 7. And that's the 4, that's the 7, making that the 8, that the 4, looking down, making that the 3, and that the 8. So this is 1, 2, 6, but it can't be a 1 because there's already a 1 in the row. So that's a 2. Whoa, 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 Bremster. There's no 1 in those. So that's a 2, 6 pair. So that is broken again. I've broken the puzzle, got it wrong. Because this is a 2, 6 pair. This has to be wrong. Yeah, I've got 2 1s in the column. What I see what I did here. So all of this stuff I did down the bottom is good, but what I should have done with the 1, 2, 6 here is removed 1 from there, not put 1 in. That's what I did wrong. So let's continue down here again and do this again because I muffed up. Because it's early in the morning, or I'm an idiot, or both. 8, 4. So 8 now has to go here, so this becomes 3. So this is 1, 2, 6. That's the 2, 6, making that the 1. So I was right about my deduction in column 7. I was just incorrect about my pencil mark in row 4, column 8. That's where I went boo-boo. So these are 1, 3, and 5. There's no 1, or there's already a 1 in row 1 and row 3. So that's the 1. The 3 in row 1 resolves those. So there is a 3 right there. I mean, the important thing is I just try and have fun with this. Like, I don't try and take it too seriously. Why so serious? 7 is down here, but it's not there. So 7 is in one of those 2. What are the 3 I'm missing in this row? 4, 6, 8. I'm not seeing that. Okay. So have I missed anything? Like, there's no 4 there. I didn't remove that again. There's no 5 here. So is it 1, 4, 6, 7? Right, this is a 6. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, and 9. That is a 6, making this the 4, this the 8. The 4 and the 8 make that the 6. The 6 looks down, making that the 1. The 6 looks down, saying that's not the 6. So this is 4 or 7, and it can't be 4. So we get 7, 4, 6, 7, 5, 6. 5 and 5 puts 5 in one of those 2, but not there. So that's the 5, that's the 9. This is the 2. So this is the 8. This is the 2. This is the 4. That's the 2. That's the 6. That's the 2. That's the 6, and the 9 looks down, making that the 2 and the 9. That was okay. I fooped. I fumbled it, but that was fun. Okay, let's try and jump to the hard puzzle. So a lot more people solve the hard puzzles, which I think is disappointing. I often think there's some good logic in some of the mediums. The easies I kind of get. This is a 1. So these ones often break me. Very, very hard. But we will see how I go. Interesting. There's 8s in there. Not sure what oh no, there's just a placed 8. So these are 3, 6, 9 without this being an 6 or that being a 3. 7 is in one of those. 8 is right there. Neat. Is that cell under pressure? 2, 5. It's a little bit. But that's also 2, 5. No, that's a 5. 1, 2, 3. No, there's a 4 that needs to go in this column. There is a 4 in one of those 2. Forget that. I got that wrong. I would have made a boo-boo. This is why I check my work rather than speed solve. 9 is in one of those two. And still get it wrong. 6 is in one of those two, interestingly enough, because of 6s. And it's not there. That's a 6. Oh, yep. I'm going to say you saw it before I did because of chat lag. Even though I've got chat lag set very low, I'm still going to give you the first spot. 8 is in one of these two. I get the feeling there should be more going on with 8s than I am seeing. But I'm not seeing them, which is the whole point. 3 is in one of those two? This is the problem with my flow style of solving. And variance kind of puts you into this flow where you're looking for what constraint gives you the next best deduction. And the answer with classic Sudoku is none of them. One in box 8, you say? Yeah, that's a pretty obvious one, isn't it? So now 1 is in one of those two, so this becomes a 1-7 pair. So these are 3, 4, 9. So this is 3, 4, and this is 3, 4, 9. Well spotted. I figured no one would jump in today, but that's okay. So, having done my my fog thumbnails for so long, I've actually got a few fog puzzles coming up on the channel, and it was like the where I do the fog overlay, where I create a cloud layer and then I drop it out and I use a masking tool to sort of make the thumbnail covered in fog. I haven't had anyone comment on one of them for a while, but it's kind of my style now, and I'm wondering whether I should mix it up, whether I should change the way it works. Where's 9 in row 8? It's not in any of those. These are full and those are full. That's a 9. So this is N triple, 2, 5, and 7. There's no 2 there. There's no 7 there. Now let's just prove 9 is in here, but this is now a triple, which is 3, 4, and 8. So that's an 8. And this is a 3, 4. And I could remove the corner marks. And I have to slow down and realize I'm not solving for speed here. But this is now forced because 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm working with 2, 3, 4, 5. There's no 2, 5 here. This is a 3, 4. So this is a 2, 5. And I've got pairs in the row. But this column is 3, 4, 9. So this is 4, 9, and this is 3, 4, 9. So 2 is in one of those two. Not sure about 5. Got to put a 7 in one of those two. Hey, Douglas. 953 on this one. I mean, the links for this one you can just generate yourself. I'm not sure which one you're solving. You're always welcome to just be here and chat. This is where I come and chat and kind of wake my brain up. I haven't done these in a while, so I thought I should. Of course, these are also the ones where everyone gets to see how dumb BremSter is. Though, honestly, that is not a newsflash. Newsflash, BremSter moron. 8 is still down. 8 is now in one of those two. I hope you are well, Douglas. I hope you're not facing any national disasters like we have been, but it's not over, but we're still on extreme alert. So what am I looking for? I know the answer. I know. It's an Australian thing to be self-deprecating, particularly when you make a boo-boo. One of the things that I try and it's something that I've had to try and build up in the team that I work with, is when you make a mistake, so many people who come into our organization, particularly if they've come in from sort of some other countries, but also coming in from the education system as a whole, is if you make a mistake, the first thing you should do is try and turn around and say why the mistake happened that wasn't your fault. Whereas I try and train people is if you make a mistake, admit the mistake, fix it and move on. And because if you try and hide the mistake or spend all of your time doing blame, you're just wasting people's time. So I normally will, like, I've walked into official meetings, like, where I've made a mistake that's cost the organization money and gone, hi, I screwed up. I'm an idiot. We're fixing it now. It should be, fixed in, 20 minutes. And everyone was like, yeah, don't do that again. Whereas the people who turn around and spend hours turning around trying to find the reason of the blame rather than admitting, particularly when you can prove later it was something they did. Oh, I don't like it. I'm looking for a solution to a puzzle here. Why am I talking about this? I know why I'm talking about this. But yeah, I find it's easier to just default to the I made a mistake answer and then try and move on, because otherwise things just are absolutely bad. But so many people can't do it. They just can't do it. They've immediately got to look for an excuse as to why it's not their fault. Okay. Chat, help. Douglas, where did you go? Okay, what about this digit? No, not looking too restricted. Nah, not it. See, this is the thing with the hards. Sometimes they've got beautiful flow, and then sometimes they've got beautiful flow I can't see, and then sometimes they don't have beautiful flow. This is the thing. I always feel like an idiot when I solve these puzzles on stream. Like it always feels like I'm signing myself up to look like an absolute doofus on the internet. But most people seem to sign themselves up to be doofuses on the internet, so I suppose I shouldn't be too worried about it. Where the heck am I looking here? I'm looking for regular patterns that I'm aware of. I don't just want to go in and blatantly pencil mark. I'm also not a fan of using the pencil mark checker unless I absolutely have to. Yeah, I'm kind of the same as long as I'm not wasting everyone's time. You may have noticed in some of my videos, there was one video recently, maybe it's actually for us. Yeah, I actually think it's for a pack that's coming out in a month or so, where I did great solving for the first 20 minutes. And then the next deduction took me like 35 minutes to find. So what I ended up doing is I left like 2 or 3 minutes of it and to give people a chance to spot it on their own. And then it might have been more than that. It might have been like 5, because I found another minor deduction that I thought was interesting, but wasn't what it was right in front of me. And then I edited the video to remove all of that stuff. I stopped the video. I wound back to the point where I hadn't like filled the grid with just nonsense, recorded again, said, okay, this is the point where I just went down a rabbit hole of blind oblivion, and this is what I missed. And hopefully you saw this and I didn't, because I don't want people sitting there like 25, 30 minutes of me failing is not engaging. And I want the videos to present the puzzle well, be a little bit engaging, but also not just be a waste of time. Like, I'm not chasing watch time that much. Okay, I'm lost here. So these can't be 7, 8, 9. So this can't be 1, 2, 3. This is 4 or 5 only, because it can't be 1, 2, 3. It can't be 7, 8, 9, and it can't be 6. So this is 4 or 5. What is this row? 2, 4, 5, 6, 9. So 2, 5 only. 4, 6, 9. 2, 4, 5, 6, 9. 2, 4, 5, 6, 9. That's not great. And this is 2, 4, 5, 6. That was more restricted than I thought, but I'm not sure how to use it. If that's a 2, that's a 2. If that's a 5, one of those two is a 5. Could those both be 2? That would be 2. This is not the way I like to solve this. 2 would be in one of those two. I don't see it. This is 4, 5, or 9 only. Row 2, column 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, that's a 5. That's a good spot. Very nice spot, Frappy. Hey, Gelevini. That's a really good spot. What can we do with that? Actually, what can we do with that, though? I'm not sure if you've been watching any of the videos on the Sudoku videos, Gelevini, because I know you came to me through BremSter Games. I was only going to do this for an hour or so, and then I was going to jump over to BremSter Games and do the boxes game. Kind of done with Diablo. Row 1, column 8. Yeah, I should look at column 8 now. So I'm going to do it my way so I don't lose track. So 1, 6, 7, 9. So this is 1 or 6. Oh, no. 1, 7, 9. This is 6. So these are... No, it's 2, 6, 7, 9. And they're 2, 7, 9. So these are 2, 7, and 9. There's no 2 or 7 there. That's the 9. Which puts 9 in one of those two. Or those, yeah, 9 in one of those two. And 9 in one of those two. Now, this is 1, 3, 8. And I'm not sure what to do with that. But that was a good spot. Hang on, 1s. No, I was wrong. I thought I saw something on 1s and I was wrong. I mean, maybe... Yeah, they do that a lot. I think the way they do it is they will put a grid into a solver or anything, and if it keeps coming up naked single, hidden single, naked single, hidden single, naked single, hidden single, then it's an easy puzzle. But for example, that cell being a naked single, I don't know if it is, but that sort of stuff is not easy to spot. Just a random hidden single somewhere can be like that being a naked single, not easy. I mean, you can look for places where there's a bit of constraint. But you need to find some information first. Like that cell. It can't be 1, 2, it could be 3, it can't be 4, 5, 6, it can't be 7, 8, 9. What about this row? 1, 3, 5, 6, 8. So these are from 1, 3, 5, 6. So this is from 3, 5. 1, 3, 5, 6, 8. Okay, Gillevany has been picking up the game. I thought I met you through Diablo. How did you spot that so fast? There's another one. I thought there would be, and I'm trying to figure out where. I get the feeling it's going to be a 3. I need to find the other one, though. Frappy? Some help? Really? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right, that is the 4, and that's going to do everything, I think. 3, 9, 4. That's amazing. Yeah, those two cells. There's no 3 there anymore. So this is 1, 7, or 8, so it's 7 or 8. But what did I put in? I put in this 3 and this 4. I put in this 4. 3 is now up here and here, so 3 in this box has to be here, which means this isn't the 3. The 3 in this row now can't be in those because of that 3, can't be there because of that 3, can't be there because of that 3. That's the 3. There's no 9 in either of those. These are 1, 4, 5, 6. 5 is up here. Wait a minute. Oh, these are 2, 5, 6, and 9 now. So this is only 5 and 9. Excellent spot, by the way. Column 6, 2, 5, 9 as well. So this is 5 or 9. Oh, wow. Okay. This is 1, 5, or 6. But what possible deduction could I make from row 3? Row 5, column 3. Ah, yes, right. Perfect. Is that the last 3 though? No, I've got 3 in those, 3 in those, and 3 in those. So that is a unresolvable at this time set. 5, 7, 8, 9. Is there anything I can do there? No. I can... this one I have found is quite tricky. Like, there's been no complex logic in it. It's just the spots I have found quite hard. It has been quite leopardy. Right, yeah. Okay. Let's undo whatever I just did because I pushed the wrong button. What? No, yeah, right, 9. Which means that's the 9. This is a 3, 4, and the 3, 4 means that's the 5, that's the 2, that's the 5. There's no 5 in those. These are 1, 4, 6. So 1, 4, 6. Great. 5 means there's no 5 here. This is not collapsing. 5 here, meaning 9, meaning 2, meaning 7, meaning 2, meaning 5, meaning 7, meaning not 5. These are 2, 7. So we've got 7 and 2, meaning 5, 4, 6, 2, meaning 3 and 4, meaning 3 and 4. Okay, so this is 6, this is 9. So this is, all right, this is 1, 4, and these, that's not a 7. We've got 1 and 6 to place. So it's 1 and 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 8. So we've got 8 and 5. The 1 and the 3 look up, making that the 8, that the 1, that the 3, which means that's the 7, that's the 1. See, I can do fine when there's enough information that I don't actually need to find anything. 7 and 5. Nice little puzzle. Let me mark off those as done and then jump back to 9 medium. Okay, because I think the mediums are often quite fun. 1 goes into here. 4 is in one of those two. I mean, 7 is in one of those two, which is a bit weird, but I mean, it's not weird. It's just something that is true, which according to most people these days is apparently weird. Three in column 8 is true. Welcome back, Planktime. I say back, but you know what I mean. I can roll on 3s. We don't like to roll on 1 in this place. This isn't the Green Mile. So 1 is in one of those two. You're the that's been MIA. What? I'm the one that's been MIA. Yeah, I know. No kidding. So things have been a bit weird here. We've had intermittent, like I personally haven't had internet outages, but the state has, my state is on fire. Basically, Victoria, where I live, is absolutely burning. And a couple of days ago, we literally had most of the state on fire. If you looked at a fire warning map where there were active fire crews, it was over half of the state. At the moment, it's not too bad, although we've still got some raging fires that are extreme. So, you know, tens of thousands of hectares currently on fire, uncontrolled. And there had been service issues caused by it. So we've had some issues with internet and everything. And realistically, with everything going on with getting having friends who've had family evacuated and everything, It happens here almost every summer, but we've had, we're known to be one of the places in the world that gets the most fires. But this has been extreme. The firestorms in Victoria were so bad a couple of days ago that the wind torrents over the fires were so extreme they were causing their own lightning, which of course was making the situation worse again. So things have been pretty bad. I just, with having friends who have had family evacuated and everything, I've basically just been doing stuff that has been a little bit more chill. I've been recording a lot of puzzles, things that I can stop. So I haven't been doing any video game streaming or anything like that. Just to try and stay a little more available in case anything happened. And have I been overboard in my paranoia? Yes, but I'm cool with this as a concept. There's no need to apologize. I mean, it's all good playing time. It's all fine. Yeah. I mean, we've had fires like this for decades, but they have gone from being something that, when we were in uni, we'd talk about, do you remember the fires that happened, when you were in primary school too? It's like, this is almost as bad as the ones we had a couple of years ago. Yeah, it's crazy. Things have gotten way more extreme. We do fine. Okay, I'm looking for overlapping stuff I can use. Like I can see one of those two as an 8. I can see that's a 2. That's a nice little hidden 2. So this is a triple now. 7, 8, 9. There's no 7 there. That's the 7. So that's the 7. Great. Bam. Whoops. Get rid of all the corner marks. And that's the 8. And that's the 9. I found some digits. These are 1, 4, 6. Not seeing a restriction on that. I mean, I don't feel it's particularly hard mode. We do fine. So this is 4, 5 only. Actually, one of the things we have had here is smell of smoke in the air quite a lot. And one of the things that we have been celebrating a lot is the sweet smell of petrichor. So 6 is in one of those two. That's 1, 4, 5, and I don't know what to do with it. Well, hang on, that's a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a 5. So 5 is in one of those two. So this is a triple. 2, 8, 9. No, 9. So this is 2 or 9. But yes, a couple of things I wanted to talk about. One was, if you haven't been following Sudokutude's Set 9, you absolutely should. A lot of people like my Sudokutude series, but they've been missing Set 9 because they've been collaborated to me. So go check out Timotab's puzzles, or Timotab's channel, or PuzzlePats' channel. Or if you want to find it through my channel, go to my homepage and check the collaboration section on the homepage, where all of Timotab and PuzzlePats' puzzles of, or videos of Sudokutude Set 9 have come up. put a lot of effort into making the videos appear on them. If people are interested, I'll talk about some of the behind the scenes stuff about how that all came together and some of the channel admin from my perspective and the impact of me not having them on my channel. But I kind of want to just call out that they did an amazing job recording them, and I'm really glad that they agreed to do it for me. Well, with me. It's a collaboration. I got to get that mentality out of my head. People don't do things for me. They do things with me because they're awesome. 8 is in one of those two, which means, yeah, I had 8 in one of those two anyway. So what are these? 1, 4, 6, no, 1, 4, 5, 8. So this is only 1 or 4. And it can't be 1. That is a 4. So this isn't a 4. 4 is in one of those. That's the 5. This is 1, 4, 6. So these are 1, 5, 8. There's no 8 there. There's no 5 there. Or 1. That's the 8. That's the 1. That's the 5. Bam! That's the 4, and this is a 1, 6. I think it's good too. It's had a negative impact on the series because people aren't engaging with the collabs as much as I'd hoped they would. These are 2 and 5. So that's a bit sad. No. It's 2, 5 for the column, but it's not a 5. That's the 2, that's the 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4 and 9. 4 and 9. 4 and 9. 9. So that's been a bit of a downside. The puzzles have been solved less, and they're actually really good puzzles, I think. 4 and 7. So that's been a bit of a bummer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 and 8. So 2 and 8. That looks across making this the 9, which means there's no 9 here. The 2, 8 makes that the 9. So the next set of Sudoku tudes has already been recorded for my channel. Not that I'm like saying, it's got to be mine again. It's just the way it worked. That's the 8, that's the 2, that's the 4, which means that's the 8 and that's the 2. So I was just recording them. I actually recorded most of them yesterday, and they'll come out late February, I think. 2, 5, 7. No, 5 or 7. That's the 2, and this is the 5, 7. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. No, 3, 4, 8. 3, 4, 8. Get it right. Get it right. Oh, there's no 8 there either. That's the 8. But yes, they put a lot of work in order to make those videos as good as they possibly could be, and the engagement's been down, which is a little, what a shame. So this is a 1, 6 pair now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's a 9, that's a 2. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 7. And the 7 means that's the 5, that's the 7. Excellent. So I think I should be looking in box 2 at this point, because everything else looks unresolved. So 1, 2, 3 I've got in. 4 I'm not seeing. 5 is in one of those two. 6 is in one of those two. 7 I have 8. Ooh, 9. 9 I can place, which overwrites a 3, which overwrites a 1, which overwrites a 5, which overwrites a 6. That's a nice resolution. I do like that. That was very cool. Meaning 5 and 7. This is the 4. So this isn't 1 or 4. This is 6, 1, 4, meaning this is 6 and 1. And I better put these in as well with 6 and 1. What a nice little puzzle. I did like that one. So that was January 9th, medium. And we'll jump to hard. Now, one of the things that I have done, and feel free to reach out to your other favorite creators, or in my case, your favorite creators, because why would I be one of them? Your other favorite creators. I'm being self-detrimental again, I know. And say, by the way, these Sudokutude packs, you can solve these. You're not limited to other published moderately easy puzzles. There's 120, and the Sudoku Takeout series is there, which is another 50 or so. So there's a couple of hundred puzzles here that you can just pick ones that you like the look of, and you can do solve videos, or you can stream them. Like you could do a stream of the packs or whatever. They are all... they're all available for you to do without having to reach out and ask for permission. Permission is explicitly given in the pack for video solvers to do them, because I want it to be easier for people to find puzzles to do. Because one of the challenges of the channel is to find puzzles that I can do, because if people don't submit or give permission, I can't do anything. And most of the things that people do are either, these days, a lot of people are releasing paid content or stuff like that, and I just can't do videos on that. So the question then becomes, how do I keep this rolling? Part of the reason why I've started making Sudokutudes, sure, but not the only one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 and 6. Yeah, feel free to reach out to your other creators and say, have you considered solving these? Or, don't. That's completely up to you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these are 2 and 5. 7 makes this the 8 and this the 7. I get the feeling this is going to have a sting in the tail with how much this is sort of coming into play, because these are now 2 and 5, and these are 1 and 9. So these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 4 and 6. So this is a triple, which is 1, 3, 9, with no 3 there or 1 there. This row is missing 1, 8 and 9. So that's 1, 9, that's an 8. One, 2, 7 and 9 in those. I mean, 3 is in one of those two from what I can see. So 3 is in one of those two. So this cell is 2 or 9. Eight is in one of those two. And if people have reservations on recommending them, please let me know why. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying, what did I do wrong in order to make them that you don't think that they're worth recommending, or that other solvers may not want to do them. Because it's not as if a lot of these other solvers don't want to solve puzzles that have been seen on other channels, because, for example, the genuinely approachable Sudoku people post their own solve videos like the day after the video comes out, and yet people will still post videos of those a couple of days later. Sometimes I find these, sometimes I'll plow through one of these hard ones in like 6 or 7 minutes, because I do solve some of these recreationally as well, particularly with Maggie. Quite often I'll go around to Maggie's and we'll just sit down and we'll do a bunch of New York Time classics. It's good fun, but sometimes we'll spend 30 minutes on a medium, and sometimes the hard for that day will take like 3 or 4 or 8 or 9 minutes. And it's like, I think they got these ones backwards, and I think it is literally they run it through a solver, and the solver will turn around and say how hard it is based on, like, you know, hidden singles being like 3 points, naked singles being 4 points, and stuff like that. And therefore the medium is like, oh, this is all like hidden or pointing pairs and stuff, therefore it's worth almost no points, therefore it's a medium. Whereas those could be really hard to see until you pencil mark everything, which a computer does instantly, but a human doesn't. And it really does depend on how much the digits are communicating. What is the telegraphing of the grid like? And computers still don't understand telegraphing to humans. Like, as much as you might want to say they do, they don't. Yeah, Frappy, probably not a great idea. I'm getting that a lot, and it kind of makes me feel a little upset. Because there are so many other good channels out there. And I know that the big norm, particularly amongst the big channels, is to not mention that other solvers exist, because then they might lose traffic. I want you to find the solver that's right for you. Have you found the solver that's right for you? If confusion persists, see your Sudoku solver. Come on, Frappy, you're good at spotting these naked singles. Where am I missing? So these are all 1 through 6. That's a little restricted, but not a lot. Yeah, don't we all? Especially considering I'm posting so much content, but I'm just having fun. Row 9 looks promising. 1, 2, 5, 6. It does. It really does. Okay, so that 3, 5 pair, what does that do for me? Makes that a 7. I found it. You may have found it first, but I found it. So I need to put an 8 in this row. In one of those two. That's a 3, 8 pair. Sure. But that is a 3, 8 pair. Because 8's not in either of those. The rest are filled. So that's a 3, 8 pair. So these are 4, 9. I think they're 4, 9. And the 4 makes that the 9 and that the 4. That means this isn't 9. The 4 makes that 6 and that 4. That was happy with that spot. Was it genius level spotting? No. Was it train level spotting? Probably not even that good. So this is a triple. 1, 2, 8. So this is 1 or 2. I'm not seeing that. I mean, 4 is in here. 6 is in here, but 9 is in one of those two. There might be something there, but I feel like I'd be pencil marking absolute to death. This isn't a 4. These are 2, 3, 8, and 9. Row 3, column 7. Yeah, the 4 was a corner mark. Ah, yeah, it is an 8 or 9. That is a bit restricted, isn't it? I mean, it was just a corner mark that hadn't been removed. So, Gelevany, I mean, we met through Diablo, but as far as I remember, but had you been, I'm assuming that you'd already been in Sudoku? Like you'd already been a Sudoku solver before then and you were solving like hard Sudoku and everything? Because we never had that discussion. Row 2, column 3. Wow, that's a good spot. Let's mark it. This cell sees a 1, sees 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So that is a 2. That's a very nice spot. Well done. I wouldn't have said that was particularly cryptic. Excellent. Well, I'm glad that you found me. I don't know if you've done any variant Sudoku before. So hopefully that you've started exploring that world, because I will admit I find variant Sudoku way more engaging. 1, 3, 4, 5. So that's the 5. No. 5 is it? So these are 1, 3, 4. That's what I'm getting from that. And I don't know what I'm doing with it. Okay, BremSter's missed the plot again. Doo-da, doo-da. 2. 2 is in one of those two. Which means this isn't a 2, and this is. Which means this isn't a 2. Row 7, 8. Up. 3, 8. Which means that's not 3. So 3 is in one of those two. What is this? 1 or 6? Because it can't be 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, or 9. So that's a 1, 6 pair. So 6 is in one of those two. Which I could have got earlier. Well, maybe not. That's what's eliminated 6 from there. But I'm not sure what that's doing. Row 2, column 1. Well, this row is missing 3, 6, 8, and 9. And this one can't be 3. That's 6 or 9. So 3 is in one of those two. So 3, 6, 8, 9. That's interesting. That's a weird one, Eric. My solving preference is definitely variance. I like the weird interactions they have. It also means my terrible scanning is not as bad. Wow. Yeah. None of this feels like it's causing collapsing, though. Then again, if I pay some more attention, row 7, column 7 is 6. It is, which means that's the 4, that's the 9, that's the 5 by pencil marks. Nicely spotted. Then again, as you said, you are a classic Sudoku expert. Something I do not claim to be. I barely claim to be... Actually, I don't claim to be anything, really. I claim to be a guy who stupidly puts stuff on the internet. That was a fun one. So that was the hard for January the 9th. Let's go back to studio. There's a few people watching. Hello, everyone. I do want to say that if anyone has any questions about the way I run the channel or anything, I am more than happy to discuss them. One of the purposes I do this stream for is to give people an opportunity to talk to me. Because I do things a little differently to the way other people in the community do. Maybe I don't. I know a lot of people, and this breaks my brain, get inspired by the way I do things. And a lot of other creators have reached out to me for advice because I've been doing this for a while. That, again, breaks my brain. I'm just a guy who's making this up as I go along. But I'm more than happy to answer questions if people have any. And as I was saying earlier, I'm not sure if it's time for me to make a change to the way I do my fog thumbnails. I do like them. Frappy, you are being sarcastic. There are a lot of full deck and missing a few cards puzzles on the channel. That cell, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a 6. That is naked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. That's naked. I see naked people. I love their puzzles too. But I'm doing 3 puzzles on the channel this weekend. All 3 of them are full deck and missing a few cards puzzles. It's a little bit balked. Two of them have already been posted. The interesting thing is I made a puzzle, which isn't brutal. Frappy knows about this puzzle, as does Eric, which I think might be one of the just nicest, cleanest puzzles with interesting logic in it that I've made in a while. Logic Masters Germany would call it 1 star. I would call it 2. But I think it's a really interesting variant and causes people to need to think. I would recommend it to someone like Gelevany, where sort of the constraints in use, it just uses one constraint, if I remember correctly, but it's just a really nice how do these digits play with each other. Really, really happy with it. And I've asked Full Deck and Missing a few cards to record a solve of it, but it's probably going to be a week before they can. 2 is in one of those. I don't think it's a masterpiece or anything, but I think it's one of the cleaner puzzles I've made in a while. I was really, really happy with. I was giggling when I was test solving it, because I knew what I was doing when I was putting the digits in the grid and everything, but it played out better. Like, actually solving it was a better experience than I thought it would be from creating it. Most puzzle creators, I assume, would have this experience. And this is the other thing, Gelevany, and I'm not telling you what to do, but a lot of the places that publish classics don't publish handcrafted puzzles. Like, if you go to the newsagents and buy a book or anything, they're all computer generated. What we try and do in this community is handcrafted puzzles, and the just the level of joy you can get from a good handcrafted, even a classic. So this is a 2-6 pair. Why didn't I mark this earlier? This is a 2-6 pair. So these... Well, 7 is in one of those 2. No, it can't be. What am I talking about? See that there? Pay attention to the digits in the column. 3, 4, 5, 9. Yeah, this... Fortunately, I catched it. Okay, where do I look now? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? The battle's done and we kinda won, so let's sound our victory cheer. Chase 4s. Chase 4s. Ah. Does that give me more? I mean, that... Yes. Chase 4s. Ooh. 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 That was a great way of finding those. Reach out to me by email, Gelevany. My email is in the video description of most of my puzzles. Or Discord. I think we teamed up on Discord. I will send you a preview of the puzzle I just created and make myself available to answer questions if you get stuck. I think it's there's some really tricky deductions in there, but if you're good at scanning classic Sudoku, I think you'd be able to wrap your head around it. No, Chase 4s was a perfect clue, Frappy. That was the perfect way to express that. That was stunning. That is phenomenal clue. That can only be 3, 4, or 9. Yeah, 3, 4, 9. 5 is in one of those two, but I'm not seeing that restriction. What I am seeing is that's a 5. Because where can 5 go in this row? So this is a triple. No, it's not. Bam. We bammed. I bam, she bam, you bam, me bam, he bam. 169 without a 1 there. So there's got to be a 5 in one of those two. No, there's not. There's a 5 there. So this is 169, which I'm not seeing what to do with, but I'll put it in. But it does mean 5 is in one of those two. I'm not sure what that's doing for me, but I need to put a 3 in this column. Well, that's only 2 or 3. Ah. Wait a minute. Yeah, I was thinking, he was like, what are you talking about? That's all the 8s. We've done all the 8s. I'm solving with my mates. And we've done all the 8s. We've also done the 7s. We're in number heaven. I should stop singing stupid, but we all know that I won't. 1, 2, 6. Oh, 1 there. So 1 is in one of those two. That's not the 1. The 2, 3 pair makes that the 1, making that the 2, and that the 4. The 2, 6 means that's the 3. That's the 2. There's no 2 there. That's a 1, 6, making that the 2. That the 6. That the 2. The 1, 6 means that is 3. These are 1, 5, 6. So 5 with 1, 6, meaning 1 and 6. I still like pencil marking the triples because it means that someone who's trying to follow along on the video has a better chance of being able to do so. This is a 1 because these are 1 and 3, and the 1 there, that's the 3. This row is missing, it's 3. So these are 4, 5, 9. No 5 there. Okay, I need to put a where's 3 in this column? It's right at the bottom. So this is 4 or 9. There's no 1 here. So this is 4, 6 or 9. And this is 4, 6 or 9. But there's no 4 in it. So 4 is in one of those two. But yeah, 1 is in one of those two, but it's not there. This is the 1. I should be so lucky, 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 lucky. I should be so lucky with 7s. 3, 9, 6. And that was, these were 3, 6, 9, but there's a 6, 9 looking up. The 6 is looking down, going 9, 6 across to 9, removing 9, so 4 and 6 looking up, making 9 and removing 9. This is therefore 4, 5. This is 3, 4, 5. Don't got it yet, but the 6 is looking across, meaning 1 and 6. So this, of course, is not a 6. Right, these columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, but there's a 9 in the row. So these are 1 and 4, so we've got 4 and 1, 1, no 4 in those, so 5, 3, 4, 5, and 4. Ta-da! Yes, we have solved it. Yes, we have solved it. We beat the puzzle, and yes, we have solved it. On to hard. Have my view? Yep. As soon as I started singing, the number of viewers on the stream halved. Bye, everyone. 9 is in one of those two. 7 is in one of those two. This is actually an 8-9. Those digits resolved all of that. Hey, David. It is Sunday morning here, and I thought I would do a little bit of Sudoku. As I said, open up the opportunity to answer some questions. People, not that I'm... hopefully, if I start doing this more regularly, people might drop in to ask some questions or stuff. I don't know. We'll just see how it goes. This is just going to be casual. And then after this, I'm thinking of playing some Boxes, which is a puzzle game over on my BremSter's Games channel. It's really interesting, the intricate puzzles and fine clues and everything. It's similar to the Room game series. I don't think it's like the perfect puzzle game thing, but I really enjoy the style. 9999. I wonder what that means for box 7. Okay. That is a 2-9 pair. That's just a 6. So yeah, I think it's really weird that I'm going to keep saying this name wrong, Gelevany. Let's just say Gel. That Gel and I met up through Diablo, but Gel's actually a Sudoku, a classic Sudoku skilled solver. I think that's amazing. I just love that. Yeah, no, that's good. I was just looking at 4s. You could tell I was just looking at 4s, but I hadn't got to that yet. So these are 1, 2, 3, 6, which are resolved. So this means this is a 4-6 pair, and that's a 2. Let's do this triple first. 3 is in one of those two, so 3 is in one of those two. 5, not sure. 7, not sure. But this is a 5 or a 7. This row needs its 1. That's 1, 5, 7. So that's the 1, and this is a 5, 7. That's cool. 1. I mean, I'm not turning around and saying I was already there. I'm just saying that, I had been looking at 4s. Just hadn't quite reached the final deduction. It's the final deduction. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. I am nowhere near the final deduction. Why? Don't ask me what's wrong with my brain today. I really couldn't tell you. It's okay, Eric. You have a life to lead. Unlike, me. Yeah, this is my channel. Man, David's here. I shouldn't say this. This is my channel that makes me money. It would be really nice to monetize BremSter games, but since I started, something I did recently caused me to lose a bunch of subscribers. It was probably my rant against PoE. What a shame. Now, Eric has work obligations, and often Eric watches me stream over on BremSter Games and will just have to disappear, and that's fine. That's the way it works. So 3, 5, 7. So this is 3 or 5. 7 is in one of those two. So 1, 2, 4, 9. So this is 1 or 4. Is it this? Which is 1, 3, 4, 8. Yeah, 4 is in one of those two. 8 is in one of those two. So hang on, this 1 or 3. Yeah, I can't remember, Jill. Were you the one who was in? Please don't take this the wrong way. I have through my theatre passion, the puzzle channel, work, through board gaming, through all of this sort of stuff. I meet so many people. Were you the one who's in Queensland? 6-8 pair in box 9. 6-8 pair in box 9. That is a 6-8 pair. Okay, there's a lot of nice pairs in this. This is the sort of deduction I absolutely love in classics. So that is an excellent thing. So now, what can I do with these? Because these are 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's a 2. These are 1, 3, 3, 4. There's no 1 there. So 1 is in one of those two, which puts 1 in one of these two. 1, 3, 4. That's not a 4. So 4 is in one of those two, which puts 4 right there. Which puts 4 in one of those two. Oh, I like these deductions. I love these deductions. Oh, you're in the USA. Okay, right. I met one guy in Diablo. I did 2 plays with someone. One person from the USA, hi, and one person from Queensland. But remembering who is who, honestly, it can be rough. So this is 5 or 7. That's 2 or 4. That's a 1. The 1's here, mean I can't put 1 here, I can't put 1 here, I can't put 1 here. That's a 1, meaning that's the 4, that's the 8, that's the 3. Meaning 3 is in one of those two. That's 4 or 9. This has got to be restricted. Can't be 2, 3, 4. This is 1 or... That's a 5. That's just a 5. Meaning that's the 7. That's the 5. These are now 3 and 8. These are 2, 3, and 7. There's no 3 there. There's no 2 there. But that means this is the 1 and this is a 5, 7 pair. This is my style of puzzle. I love this sort of puzzle. There's no 7 there. So this is 3, 5, meaning this is the 7, this is the 5. I could have used the 7 in there to do the same thing. But this is now a pair. 3, 8, which means because of that X-wing, 3, 8, which means 8, 3, which means 6, 8. And this is the 7. This is the 6. So this row, 1, 3, 5. So 5 is in one of those two. Not sure about the 1. 6 is in one. Ah, no, 6 is right there. So these are 1, 5, and 7. There's no 7 there. There's no 5 there. If a classic does have a wing, a fish, or a skyscraper, Eric, I'm often disappointed. So, hang on, this can't be right. Oh, the 3 means that's 4, 1, 3, 7, and this is a 1, 5. Okay. 7, 2, 3. Not 7, 7, 1, 2, and these are 4, 5, and 9. So that's 4, 9, that's 5. It takes all types. Like, I've tried to not be biased with what I do on the channel. After I've solved this one, I'll get on to some of my stuff. 9, 4, 2. I had to push down because I couldn't overwrite that digit. 2 means that's not the 2, that's the 2, that's the 3, making that the 5, and that the 3, making that the 1, and that the 5, and this is the 1, and that is the solution. See, not all hard puzzles have this the brutal, oh my lord, what's going on thing. That was really cool. I like that one. And now I'm going to 11th medium. So let's go to 11 medium. Okay, so one of the things I find is, and as someone who's started setting classic puzzles, setting a classic puzzle with a wing, a fish, or a skyscraper, particularly a skyscraper, is brutally hard to do. Like, brutally hard. In Sudokutude set 7, I think I have the best hard classic I've ever made, because it's got a really interesting wing in it. And it's because things like wings, fishes, and skyscrapers, I think need to be telegraphed. If they're not telegraphed well, if it's just, and using this grid as an example, it's like this cell here randomly is something without there being any reason to look at it. It's like, hang on, well, is it this cell? No. Is it this cell? No. Is it this cell? No. Oh, it's this cell. If there's no telegraphing to sort of point you in the direction, then I kind of feel it's you're not using logic, you're just using hunt and seek. And that is less interesting to me. So I've set like my first, or not my best, possibly my best hard classic Sudoku in a puzzle that's coming out in Sudokutudes 10. And because I meet the category of it being interesting, it being well telegraphed, and all of this sort of stuff. I'm really happy with the puzzle. But doing that was very much a case of the concept, which I can't remember who said it, but it was like the concept of in order to create a good classic Sudoku, you create 100 classic Sudoku and pray, or it might have been 30 classic Sudoku and pray. But if you want to make a really good classic Sudoku, make a bunch of classic Sudoku and pray. And kind of this is how I made the one with the wing, because I was aiming for it, but it was blind luck that it was actually really good. See, everyone is different, Eric, and that's fine. So the whole concept of that I find very, very weird. And the problem is most of them are computer generated, and they have no concept of being able to do telegraphing or flow. So you don't actually get oh, this is building up to something or anything. It's literally just a case of at some point in the puzzle, there'll be this thing that you need to spot. And it's like, and that is less interesting to me. Now, of course, variance for me, and this is why I created Sudoku, where I wanted to say, okay, I acknowledge I have been biased against classic Sudoku for a while. Let's sit down and use variance in a way to actually bring out that classic Sudoku stuff, which is why I started using a lot of given digits in the puzzles, because I was trying to cause there to be that extra flow. I think I've learned a lot doing Sudoku, and I'm really happy with what I've learned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 go into those. Now, again, I'm not saying, and now I have mastered it. Nope, absolutely not. I just wanted to improve what I was doing. And again, I've received negative feedback about it from people who like, but you don't like this. So why are you trying to do something you don't like? I'm trying to understand and improve my knowledge of something that I didn't connect with. It's like, you're just trying to, like, one of the comments was like, you're just trying to steal the thunder from other people. It's like, no, I think I've been fairly honest. 1 in row 8. Yeah, 1 in row 8's good. It's like, I'm just trying to understand these puzzles better, because I have said in the past, ooh, that's 3 or 6. I have said in the past that, I don't like puzzles where the constraints just collapse it to it down being a classic Sudoku. And I've done a couple of those, but I try and make it that you don't just literally resolve all of the constraints in the first 20 seconds and then you've got a 10-minute classic. I don't think that should be a variant Sudoku. It just doesn't seem pointy to me. As in, there is no point. I've done it a couple of times where that's what the puzzle is kind of felt the way to do. And as long as it's something that I do rarely, I think it's okay. But I still acknowledge it's like, I wasn't really happy with this, but it's a thing. I'm chasing 7s round the grid. But that is a 3 and a 7, which means I've done all the 7s. Neat. But I'm always interested what other people think, and everyone's being, I don't know how to engage better. I mean, part of this is trying to engage better. So these are 1 and 6. So that's the 5, that's the 6, and now we know what these are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, and 8. So these are 3 and 5. These, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. There's no 3 there. Hey, Jay. So, Jay, when did I fall in love with Sudoku? That's an interesting question, and a hard one to answer. I first engaged with Sudoku in October 2019 when I was in Germany. I'd gone over for the Eschen Spiel, 2, 4, 6. I'd gone over for the Eschen Spiel, the board gaming convention, and while I was over there, I can't remember if it was a Logic Masters Germany stand or I just met someone at like a puzzle stand who was talking about Logic Masters Germany. And they were talking about how they publish for free all of these puzzles and everything. So I do have to thank Logic Masters Germany for getting me into the hobby. And I started looking into Logic Masters Germany while I was over there, because I don't know if you've done international travel, but there was a fair bit of downtime. We'd get back to the hotel room, we'd be tired, but we'd be so mentally engaged that we couldn't just fall asleep. Also body clocks and stuff like that. So I'd go to bed. I had good internet. So I remember looking up Logic Masters Germany, and the first thing that came up was a Sudoku solving video. Like it wasn't, it was the site itself. And then there was a video of solving a Sudoku. And it was like, okay, I've not seen this before. And it was a Sudoku variant, and it was actually Simon solving a puzzle. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. And I just started watching because I didn't have a laptop or anything with me for which I could actually solve puzzles on until I got home. So I watched a bunch of CTC videos in October 2019, which was before lockdown, which is when most people got into it. And I kind of got a little bit into it. I bought a book from Ashish Kumar shortly after I got home, and I was solving those and watched his channel for a bit. And I then I basically got engaged and started buying a lot more stuff. I got into Ashish Kumar's Patreon, which no longer exists, but I got a lot of amazing puzzles from them. I was actually, lockdown happened. My 50th birthday, we were in lockdown, and I was literally sitting right here on my 50th birthday, spent the entire day solving Ashish Kumar Sudoku puzzles. And Ashish Kumar is probably one of the people who got me into the hobby, because Ashish reached out to me via the Patreon, and we were just chatting about the puzzles because I was trying to learn. And we ended up chatting via Discord, and Ashish got me really involved. And it was solving Ashish Kumar's puzzles that took me from, I really like Sudoku and it's fun, to this is something I want to spend a lot more time on. It was lockdown that dragged me from being I'm doing this a couple of times a week to I'm doing this for days in a row. But I got into it back in 2019. So I'm not an early adopter, but I was before lockdown, just. So what are these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 8, 9. There's no 9 there. There's no 8 there. There's no 9 in either of them. I don't know that that's helped me. What about missing in this row? It's 1, 2, 9. So that's 1 or 9. That's 2 or 9. So 1 is over here. So this isn't a 1 or a 2. That's an 8. Ha ha! I found an 8. I have master 8'd. Wait, no. So in this column, 1, 2, 3, and 6. So that's 3 or 6. So did that answer your question, Jay? Did it answer your question satisfactorily? 1, 3, 5, 6. Well, this can't be 1, 3, or 6. That's the 5. So this is 1, 3, 6, and that can't be a 3, and that can't be a 1. Put 5 in one of those two. I know what I'd love to do a Sudoku mini pack on. You know how we do mini series of packs? I'd love to do one on Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds, which I know is one of Riff Clown's favorite things in the world. But Riff Clown put me on to the 2012 re-recording of War of the Worlds, and I basically alternate between the two. One week I'll listen to the original, the next week I'll listen to the 2012 re-recording, then I'll go back to the original, then the 2012 recording. They're so good. What am I missing? Thing is, I want community feedback on what I do so I can improve. I would love to know what people would like me to do with the channel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 189. I don't know that that's helped me at all. This is only a medium. What is it that BremSter's brain has completely missed? 4 in box 3. Yes, 4 in box 3, which means this is the 6, this is the 2, this is the 4, which means this is the 1, and this is a 3, 6 pair. So this column now is 5, 8, and 9. So that's a 9, and this is a 5, 8. That means these are 1, 2, and 6. Not sure on that one. Yeah, I'm not following it as well. Chat is distracting in a very good way. One, 2, 2, 5, 8, 9. There, 2, 5, 8, 9. 2, 5, 8, 9. 5 and 8 must be in here. So this is only 2 or 9, but I knew that. Keep the 4 going. Keep the 4 going. Ah. Wow. Okay. Well, that was called well. Yeah. I mean, one of the things I would like to, I mean, I've solved some beautiful Sudokus with 0 in them recently, like some absolutely amazing puzzles. So yeah, I've been absolutely blessed with some stunning puzzles. Man, what do you want me to do with the channel? What? I obviously said something that I lost context on because I got distracted. Welcome to BremSter's Brain. Completely losing context for so many years. Now, what do I want to do with the channel? What do I want to do with the channel? So, I mean, one of the things I want to keep doing is I definitely want to keep doing puzzle packs and stuff. I never get enough puzzle recommendations, which is definitely a thing. But and the people who do recommend to me, I would never be able to thank them enough. And they know who they are. But using the early slot to do puzzle packs, which unfortunately means getting support from the creators, doing a puzzle pack and all of those sorts of things, and the videos you see for those puzzle packs takes a huge amount of work. But one of the things I love about it is if you look at a puzzle pack or a puzzle from a puzzle pack, and I've got some evidence on this. Like if we release the puzzle packs quite often, and we've released some puzzle packs that have not had video releases, and when we do that, the puzzles will normally get sort of 30 to 50 solves, and if we release a puzzle pack and then a week later start video solves, the puzzles will get like 30 to 50 solves, and then when a video comes out, those solve counts will jump to 800 to 1,000. They just boom, jump. So in order for the puzzles to get the best possible coverage, I love recording videos for them and putting them out. But doing that needs support, because for those, often those puzzles, I want to present them well. So I don't necessarily blind solve, because the whole point to me is to showcase the puzzle well, not necessarily showcase, look how awesome I am at solving. So just because I'm not solving it completely blind. I mean, first of all, if I solve a puzzle and then I come back to it 2 days later, I'm not going to remember every individual deduction. I don't have that good a memory. So I'm still solving it. It's just I'm much less likely to present a terrible solve of the puzzle. Still possible, it's happened, but it's less likely. So what I often want is the ability to sit down and say, okay, what is the key deduction here? What do I need to unlock the puzzle? Particularly with the hard ones. The easy ones are fine, but particularly with the hard ones. And then be able to curate that, bring them all in consistently, put a theme around them, package them all up and everything. It's a lot of work to do. And one of the packs I did, the creator after a while just turned around and said, dude, you're asking too many questions. I don't want to deal with this anymore. And I'd recorded, I think, 8 videos for a pack of 13 puzzles. And the creator just turned around and said, dude, this is just too hard. And all I was doing was asking questions of, where is this at? Like, what is the deduction to break this open? How do I proceed from here? Because these puzzles were diabolically hard. And I'd ended up putting 35 or 40 hours work into a series of videos that now have never been released. So in order to do this, I kind of need support. I need engagement. I need all of that to work. And it just, yeah, it's really, really tricky to get that momentum happening and then maintain it, because I'll be honest with you, when something like that happens, it's really dispiriting, and I want to avoid that because my time is precious. And similarly with submissions, when creators turn around and say, your submission guidelines are too hard. I don't want to put 3 minutes into filling out all of the details on an email. And it's like, if you don't do it, I have to do it. And I have to do it for everyone. So is your 3 minutes on a puzzle that you created and you want to get seeing less valuable, or that much more valuable than mine when I'd have to do it for everyone? If it's not worth your 3 minutes, why is your puzzle worth for a 30-minute video, it's normally about 90 minutes work. So if it's not worth 3 or 4 minutes for you to provide the details on your puzzle, why is it worth 90 minutes of my time? Why? And to me, the answer is it's not. But I still get a lot of pushback on the whole concept of that. So I want to kind of figure out, how do I help people provide what I need to keep the quality of content and keep everything running smooth? Because, I mean, every creator meets this. Like, you look at a lot of the others and they're meeting exactly the same problem. And, like, I'm not unique or special in this. It is absolutely, like, something that happens for everyone. But how do I try and maintain what I'm doing with still being able to provide a good quality and get it all happening? And yeah, these are the things that I want to do. I want to try and do more of those packs and more of these series, but more and more I need other people to help me do them. And asking people to do that really sucks. Like, Eric knows how hard it is. 259. There's no 2 there. Eric really knows how hard it is, because Eric's been doing it a bit for me recently. And yeah, it sucks. So there's a 5 in one of those 2. So there's a 4 or 5. So I'd like to do more of that sort of stuff. I think it's like the engagement on those is really high, and people seem to like them, and it gets a lot more support behind the puzzles. I just don't know how to do it right. Even after having done it dozens of times, I still don't know how to do it right. So what could this be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It can't. 6. It's only 4, 5, or 6. That's not. as helpful. And 7 in box 4. Yes. So these are 3, 4, and 8. 4, 8, 3, 8. And I'm not sure what to do with that. Well, this is 4. That's 4, 8. And this is 4, 3, 5. And I'm hearing fire trucks. I don't know if you can hear them in the background, but that's fire trucks. I can hear them over my noise cancelling headphones. 3 is in one of those two. 4 is in one of those two. So what are these? Sorry, I'm trying to keep an ear on 1369. Okay. And everyone goes silent. Please don't think I'm ranting against people who've tried to support me or anything. I'm absolutely not. I get the burnout. Believe me, I get the burnout. And the other thing is I've had a few people reach out to me, row 5, column 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Does that connect with anything though? Maybe. What was I saying? I mean, you can tell this stream is less popular because I didn't advertise it. But that's okay. I'm not against people who suffer from the burnout or anything. Believe me, the amount of work it takes to do all of this stuff has been like is significant. Like I know how hard it can be. No, it's not your fault at all. If I can't keep my mind in order, that's my problem. This is my brain on rails. Okay. So this is a triple, 1, 6, 9. So there's a 1, 9 pair. Is that going to do anything? Is that 1, 9 pair going to do anything? Because the others are 2, 4, 5, 8. So these, yeah, that's a 2. That cell right there can't be 1, can't be 3, can't be 4, can't be 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. That is a 2. So these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. That's not an 8. That's not a 4. The 2 makes that the 5, that the 8, which says this isn't the 8, that's the 8. It's a 5 or a 6. 4 is in one of those two. Hang on a minute. 2, 5, 6, 9. No. still trying to figure out what to do about my fog thumbnails. Why don't you create a set of questions and apply to almost every possible difficulty? I have. My submission guidelines are on almost every video. Jay, many people ignore them or literally just refuse to use them. That video is 3 years old. It probably needs updating, but if you were to follow those guidelines, you'd be fine. Like the tools have moved on and everything. So, you know, but yeah. So 1, 3, 9. No 1 there. There's no 3 there. There's no 9 there. That's a 3. So these are a 1, 9. But this is now a triple. 2, 7, 8. No 8 there. There's no 7 there. Can I do anything with that? I mean, the answer is probably. Where is 6 in this column? Not there. Not in any of those. Not there. That's a 6. So 6 is in one of those two. So is it these now? Or these are 1. There's a 5 in one of those two. Because those are 1, 5, and 9. And I feel like I'm over pencil marking again. Two is in one of those two. No 5 there. So this is 1, 6, or 9. This is 1, 5, or 9. That's not jumping out at me either. I am not feeling startled. This cell, 3 or 9 only. And that's a 3-9 pair. This can't be 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. That's a 3-9. That's a 3-9 pair. I got there just before you, Gel. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these are 2, 5, 8. And must contain a 5. And my stream is broken. According to YouTube, I just finished the previous puzzle. Like I get a stream feedback, and according to the stream feedback, actually, no, it's not even that. I'm going to try and reload. No, I don't want to do that. I'm going to try and do this. Because according to YouTube, the preview it was showing me, oh no, I've lost it. Here we go. Now it's up to date now. Because according to YouTube, it was literally showing me not like right at the start, but it's now up to date again. Okay, so 258. Admittedly, YouTube has been having trouble in the Oceanic region recently. They did post an error update. Okay, so this one, I get the feeling there might be something happening with 9s, like the sort of thing that Eric loves. Yeah, there's been a lot of delay. There's also been YouTube streaming errors. Ah, the 6s are looking down. That's not the 6. This is the 6. And this is 1, 3, or 9. But the 6... This one, I think, is going to be one of Eric's type because I get the feeling there's a wing somewhere. I get the feeling there's something going on with these 9s. And I'm probably wrong, but I get the feeling something is going on with 9s. I mean, there's always some lag because there has to be. It has to go from me to the server, get processed by the server, converted into the video format that you're currently watching on, which isn't the format that I'm streaming on. Then it has to get sent out and presented to your device, which is another internet connection. So it has to go to YouTube server, get converted, get processed, sent to you so that your device can then convert it and present it. And it normally does that in a couple of seconds, which, if you think about the amount of video processing going on, is insane. So there's always some lag. I actually do my gaming I do at low latency, which normally means about 5 to 15 seconds. These I do at very low latency, which normally means about 3 to 5 seconds, which is purely because that all of that processing takes time. I think YouTube does an amazing job. But if this is a 9, I can't see. I get the feeling something is going on with 9s. Like, but it's probably something simpler than that. This was going to be my last puzzle, but I do need to finish it because I can hear Felinae getting out of bed. And this has been what? 2 hours? 2 hours isn't bad. Or is it this 4-5? I'm actually quite lost. So I mean, 5 is in one of those. Hang on. What 5 has to be in one of these two. 5 has to be in one of those two. If 5 wasn't in one of these two, yeah, 5 looking down, 5 is in one of those two. That is a ridiculously simple way of seeing that. I don't know why I was looking for a skyscraper when there's a 5 there, forcing 5 into there. That's a 2-8. It depends. Most, like literally, Jay, 90% of the time, probably 98% of the time, I blind solve a puzzle. It's just when I'm doing puzzle packs that I tend to not always blind solve. And a lot of that boils down to best possible presentation of the puzzle and not wanting to waste the viewer's time as much as possible. I'm not a fast solver. I mean, you see me with some of the BremSter without Brem and all of that sort of stuff. But time is precious. It's the most precious commodity we have. And therefore, if I can present the puzzle for a puzzle pack, which I'm trying to put in the best possible light, if I can present that cleanly by doing a little bit of pre-work, I mean, it's YouTube. Anyone who thinks that all of the content on YouTube is like being done fully, blah, 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 blah. Editing is going on. It's the way that the thing works. These are videos being presented, even, you know, like, but I want to put out a good quality thing for people to enjoy, not just say, here's my slog. Now, for most of my features, as I said, most, not all, and the ones where I don't do a clean solve and everything, where I'll edit out those blocks, you see those edit points and I call them out. Yeah, it's just the way I do it. I want the channel to be something that people can come to and get a Sudoku puzzle and a clean solve of it and everything. And, you know, if you want to go to a channel where people are always struggling and everything, and as I said, I do that for most of my videos, but for the packs and everything, I mean, a lot of the time it's because I test those puzzles when they come in for the pack. And then when I go to record the video 3 months later, I have seen the puzzle before. It was hundreds of puzzles ago. If you revisit a puzzle that you solved 3 months ago, are you going to remember it perfectly? Probably not. Yeah. Row 7, column 6, this digit. Well, actually, let me look at this triple then. You've told me row 7. So 2, 4, 8. So those are 2, 4, 8. So this is 2 or 4. 3, yeah, 2, 4, 8. Why can't that? Oh, that's just an 8. Right. And this is 2 or 4. Right. So that means this isn't an 8. This is an 8. This is a 2. That's a 4. That's a 2. This is not a 2. Okay. Thank you, Gel. The 4 says that's not the 4. That's the 4. So does that answer your question satisfactorily, Jay? And it's not as if I'm hiding this. So 4 is in one of those two. Yeah, I've definitely lost the flow with these, so I'm going to need to step away after this one. So 3 is in one of those two, and it's not there. This is the 3, this is the 9, this is the 1. I'll get rid of all of the colouring. There's no 1 here. The 5, 9 makes this the 1, which makes this the 9, which takes 9 out of there. This is 1, 4, or 6, or it's not 1 or 6. That's the 4, 5, 9, 5, 4, 6, 1, 9, 6, 5, not 5. The 1 and the 9 make that the 3. These are 1 and 7. The 9 comes out of those. These are 1 and 5. That's the 9, making that the 2, that the 9, making that the 7, that the 2. 7 looks down, making that the 1, and that the 7, and the 1 looks up, making that the 5, and that the 1, and this is wrong. I've made a boo-boo where I put 2 7s in box. Yeah, that was just a typo, I think. I think that was just a typo. So I run forward until I put the 7 there and I make that a 9. The 2 looks down, making that the 7 and that the 2. The 7 looks down, making 1 and 7, and the 1 looks up, making 5 and 1. And that is correct. Okay. Now, Gel, hopefully that answered your question about the blind solve with regards to the way I come across it when, like, if I'm solving a puzzle and, Jay, if I solve a puzzle and I'm solving a puzzle that's been submitted and I get stuck, I'll go get help. Like, I will go and I'll look at the submitted solve guide and everything, or I'll step away and come back a couple of hours later and I will finish off the puzzle and I'll edit out that couple of hours break because I've stepped away. I don't know how often you solve a puzzle and you go, okay, I'm tired now, my eyes are sore, I just need to step away and come back to this. If you're recording, you can't do that without an edit break, and I still need to do that. I get mentally tired. So I will do that, or I'm really stuck, I'll go and I'll ask one of my testers, or I'll look at the submitted solve guide or whatever, because the whole point, just because I can't solve the puzzle first time through or cleanly or in the best way or see everything really quick, doesn't mean the puzzle doesn't deserve to be seen. So I will do whatever I can to present the puzzle in the best light within the scale of my limited ability. That's the answer. If you're not happy with that answer, I'm more than happy to talk to you about it. Reach out to me via email or Discord or whatever, and I'm happy to chat. But I think overall it's probably best for the puzzles I'm trying to present. It may not be best for my growth of the channel or watch time, which is ad revenue and all of that sort of stuff. It may not be the best for all of that, but I am much more focused on presenting the puzzles, presenting the community. This is why I've got my current Sudoku set. By the way, go check out Puzzle Pats's channel and Timotab's channel, who are currently featuring my current puzzle set rather than it being featured on my own channel, because I wanted to engage with the community and collaborate with them and actually try and sort of show there are other solvers out there. Check them out. I'm trying to work with the community more than I am just sort of drive up watch time and make money for myself, because we've got to be a community. A rising tide raises all ships. So therefore, why wouldn't I try and work with everyone else? That's what I'm trying to do with everything I do. Present everything in the best possible light and make it work. I can only do it by being genuine with myself. If I wasn't being genuine with myself, then I'd hate what I was doing and it would just feel ick. So I kind of just got to find a way that works for me. Thank you everyone for watching. This has been fun. Now, as I said, this video will go unlisted very shortly after I finish the stream, which means it will disappear. But if you're looking for the New York Times videos, I've done some videos on this and the streams, then you can go to my playlist section and there will be a playlist of my New York Times practice solves. And in there, this stream will still be listed. So you'll still be able to find it, but you'll have to go into the New York Times playlist to find it. It will no longer be one of the things that pops up on a search history or a search result or anything, because I don't want to interfere with the feature. Hopefully Jay's answers were okay. Thank you, Jel, for dropping in. If Jel, I think we're friended on Battle.net. If you do want to do Diablo stuff, I'm kind of done with the season, but you can reach out. I'm not always available, but I love to engage with people, which is why I'm doing these. Thank you everyone for watching. And as always, good luck with your solving. Bye, everyone.